Okay, so NMN, it's everywhere in the longevity world right now. And for good reason, it seems. We are diving deep into product descriptions, scientific papers, you name it. But first, a quick shout out to our friends at topnaturalhealth.com. They've got a special offer just for our listeners. We'll tell you more later. But for now, let's get back to this whole NMN thing.
Yeah, it's definitely got people talking.
For sure.
Yeah.
So let's break it down. What exactly is NMN?
Well, to understand NMN, you got to understand NAD. Think of NAD like the lifeblood of our cells, energy production, DNA repair, you name it. The problem is, as we age, our NAD levels naturally decline.
Okay, so less NAD equals what does that actually look like in like our everyday lives?
Remember when you could pull an all-nighter and still like function the next day?
Those are the days.
Right. Part of that youthful energy is thanks to those higher NAD levels.
Fascinating. And so that's where NMN comes in.
Exactly. NMN is a precursor to NAD, meaning it gives your body the building blocks it needs to make more NAD.
So it's like giving your cells a direct line to the energy they need instead of waiting for things to naturally replenish, which, let's be real, gets slower as we age.
You got it.
I like it. So what does the research say? Are we talking about suddenly having the energy of a teenager again?
Well, I wouldn't go that far yet.
Okay, fair enough. So what can we realistically hope for?
Well, studies are showing some promising results. Improved mitochondrial function, for example.
Hold on. Mitochondrial function. For those of us who haven't picked up a biology textbook in a while, remind us what that means again.
Right. So mitochondria, they're like the powerhouses of your cells.
Right.
And when they're functioning well, your cells are better at creating energy, which means
more energy, less fatigue.
Potentially. We're talking about maybe feeling less sluggish, recovering faster from workouts, that sort of thing.
Less afternoon slump, more ready to tackle that to-do list.
Gotcha. But you did say this is still emerging research, right?
Exactly. We need more long-term studies, especially in humans, to know for sure.
Okay, so not a magic pill, but potentially a very useful tool.
Exactly. And that's how we want to approach it.
Speaking of tools, I hear there's a specific way to make sure NMN is as effective as possible, and it involves something called liposomal delivery. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. Liposomal delivery. It does sound pretty high-tech. Is this the real deal or just like a marketing gimmick? It's a little bit of both, honestly. See, taking a supplement isn't as easy as swallow this and you're good. It all comes down to how much of that good stuff actually makes it to your cells, where it needs to be to work.
Right. I guess our digestive system isn't always so friendly to everything we throw at it.
It can be rough out there. Think of it like this. You could have the perfect blueprint for, say, an amazing state-of-the-art treehouse. But if the delivery truck can't get past the roadblocks, if it starts raining and things get damaged along the way, well, that treehouse isn't getting built. Liposomes, they're like those protective delivery trucks for NMN.
Okay, that's a pretty good analogy. So how do these little delivery trucks actually, work?
Liposomes are pretty incredible, really. Imagine tiny bubbles, tiny, made of the same stuff as our cell membrane.
Wow, so they can just slip right in.
Exactly, delivering the NMN right where it needs to go and bypassing a lot of the usual breakdown. Pretty cool stuff.
So better absorption, which means you might not need as high of a dose.
You're getting it.
Yeah.
Early research suggests that liposomal delivery could mean higher bioavailability and potentially, making lower doses more effective. And this is important, we need more research to confirm all this. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Okay, so promising but not a guaranteed game changer quite yet. Makes sense. Now, we've been talking about liposomal delivery in general, but what about the specific product our listener asked about? GenuinePurity's liposomal NMN. What can you tell us about them? GenuinePurity, what's the deal with them? Are they legit?
Well, like with any supplement, it's always good to, approach things with a healthy dose of skepticism.
For sure. Especially in supplement world, right? It's not like it's as regulated as, say, pharmaceuticals.
Exactly. It's really important to do your research.
So what should our listeners be looking for when they're, evaluating a company? How do you tell if they're the real deal or just, trying to ride that NMN wave?
Well, for me, transparency is key. Do they list out all their ingredients clearly? Where are they sourcing their ingredients from? Things like that.
Okay, so full disclosure. I like it. What else?
Third-party testing, that's another big one. Is the company doing that? And are they being transparent about the results, the purity, the potency? Those are good signs. And honestly, watch out for anything that sounds too good to be true. Those over-the-top claims usually are.
Right. It's like that saying, if you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. Start simple, look for the evidence. Okay, so say you've done your research. Everything looks good on paper. What else?
Don't forget to loop in your doctor. Especially, if you're already taking medications or you have any health conditions, it's always best to get their take on things.
Absolutely. Always good advice. Now, I did notice that GenuinePurity mentions a few other compounds along with NMN, resveratrol, fisetin, spermidine. It seems like they're hinting at a synergistic effect. Is that legit or just like marketing speak?
It's actually pretty interesting. Researchers are looking into how different compounds can work together, maybe even enhance each other's effects.
So it's like building a super team, but like inside your body.
Exactly. A team effort for better aging, potentially.
I like it. Okay, so how would this like anti-aging dream team work?
Well, let's take resveratrol, for example. It's been studied for its potential to activate certain proteins called sirtuins. And these sirtuins play a role in those anti-aging pathways we were talking about earlier. So maybe if you combine that with NMN, you could boost those effects.
Interesting. Okay, what about the other players on the team? Fisetin? Spermidine?
Fisetin is thought to target something called senescent cells, which are basically these kind of zombie cells that build up as we age. They cause inflammation and whatnot.
Zombie cells. Okay, I'm definitely going to need to do a deep dive on those later.
Right, fascinating stuff. And then you've got spermidine, which is involved in autophagy, which is basically your cell's way of, like, cleaning house, getting rid of all the damaged parts and stuff.
So it's like a multi-pronged approach to keeping things running smoothly. I like it. But even with all this exciting research, supplements, they're just one part of the equation, right?
Totally. They can be powerful tools, but never a substitute for, living a healthy lifestyle.
Right. You can't just pop a pill and expect it to magically erase all the effects of, like, a bad diet and never exercising.
Exactly. Think of it like building a house. You need a strong foundation first. Diet, exercise, sleep, stress management. Those are non-negotiables. Supplements are more like the bonus features.
The upgrades. Love that analogy. Okay, before we wrap things up, a quick reminder to our listeners. If you're interested in learning more about natural health solutions, check out topnaturalhealth.com. They've got a wide selection of products, including that GenuinePurity Liposomal NMN we've been talking about. And don't forget, they've got a special offer just for our listeners.
Always a good idea to do your research and, of course, talk to your doctor to make sure you're making the best choices for you.
Couldn't agree more. It's been quite a journey exploring NMN, liposomal delivery, and all this exciting research around healthy aging. It really makes you wonder, what if aging isn't just something that, happens to us? What if we have more control than we think? If you were designing your own personal anti-aging plan, what would be at the top of your list? Would you incorporate NMN? Other supplements, definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Keep those minds curious, and we'll catch you next time.